Hey everyone, and welcome to Daily K-pop/K-drama. Before the scandals, before the headlines, there was a boy standing on a stage bathed in lights, with millions of people chanting his name. He wasn't just an idol. He was part of K-pop royalty. But behind the applause, behind the fame, the money, the power, something was quietly burning. What began as success turned into excess. What began as ambition turned into greed. And what began as a nightclub would become the name of one of the darkest scandals in K-pop history. This is not just a story about fame, it's a story about choices. About what happens when money matters more than people. Tonight, we're talking about Seungri, and how a beloved idol became public enemy number one. Seungri, born Lee Seung-hyun, debuted as the youngest of BIGBANG, one of the most famous K-pop groups at that time at age 15, and quickly grew into an international superstar. Fans loved him for his energy, humor, and unique presence on stage. But even as his music career thrived, Seungri's ambitions weren't limited to the stage. He became a businessman, investing in restaurants, cafes, tech ventures, and even a record label. He was living what many dream of: fame, power, influence. Until one night in 2018 changed everything. It began with a fight. At Burning Sun, a high-end nightclub in Seoul's Gangnam district, a man claimed he had been beaten by staff. What started as a routine assault report quickly spiraled into something far darker when allegations of drug use, sexual assault, and corruption. Illegal spycam filming began to surface. Police raids, explosive media coverage, and leaked chat logs painted a picture that no one in K-pop had seen before, and Seungri's name was right in the middle of it. Now here's where the story gets truly shocking. Seungri wasn't just a famous face. He was listed as an executive director and promoter of Burning Sunday. That meant more than just showing up in photos. It tied him legally and financially to everything happening inside that club. As investigators dug deeper, charges against him began to mount. A prostitution mediation arranging sex services to attract investors. Embezzlement diverting funds from club revenue. Bribery, gambling, unlawful conduct, and much more. Suddenly, Seungri wasn't just a K-pop idol. He was a central figure in one of the biggest scandals in Korean entertainment history. At first, Seungri fought back, publicly denying most of the allegations, saying he didn't know anything about many of the activities and insisting that he wasn't directly involved in club mismanagement. But public pressure mounted. In March 2019, in a stunning announcement on Instagram, Seungri retired from the entertainment industry, saying the hate and criticism had become too intense and that he wanted to protect BIGBANG and his company. Even then, his supporters were torn. Some defended him fiercely, others felt betrayed by the idol they once adored. The legal battle was long and complicated. At first, Seungri was sentenced to 3 years in prison and ordered to pay fines exceeding 1 billion Korean wons for multiple charges, including embezzlement and arranging prostitution. But after appeals and negotiations, his sentence was reduced to 18 months, a decision that divided public opinion. Some argued it was too lenient. Others pointed to procedural complexities. He did serve time and was released in early 2023. What makes this story even darker is that the warning signs were always there. As BIGBANG grew bigger, Seungri began to talk openly about power, not artistic power, but influence. He wasn't satisfied with being an idol. He wanted to be a player, a connector, someone who could make things happen behind closed doors. In interviews, he bragged about his business mindset, about knowing the right people, about how money and connections were the real currency. And at first, people laughed it off. Fans called it confidence. The industry called it ambition. But there's a thin line between ambition and arrogance. The more famous he became, the more untouchable he seemed to feel. When you're surrounded by yes men, luxury, and constant praise, reality starts to bend. Rules begin to feel optional. Consequences feel distant, like they only happen to other people. Burning Sun wasn't just a club. It was a symbol, a place where fame met money, where idols weren't idols anymore, just powerful men behind VIP doors. And when everything finally collapsed, something chilling happened. Seungri didn't disappear quietly. Even after prison, even after retirement, he was reportedly seen partying overseas, smiling, surrounded by people who treated him like nothing had changed. For many fans, that hurt more than the scandal itself, because it felt like no lesson was learned. And that's what makes this story so disturbing. Not just the crimes, not just the downfall, but the reminder that fame isn't always easy. And sometimes it reveals who someone really is. Seungri's downfall didn't just end his career, it changed the K-pop world. Fans remain split. Some still defend him as misunderstood or victimized. Others see his actions as unforgivable. And many more say the scandal exposed a darker side of fame that most idol stories never mention. Even years later, his name still sparks debate online and at concerts. Some fans have even held signs calling for his return, igniting backlash from others who remember the scandal all too well. Seungri's journey is a story of light and shadow, from stadiums filled with adoring fans to courtroom battles and headlines about criminal charges. It's a reminder that fame can elevate you, but choices can bring you crashing down. What happened to Seungri wasn't just a scandal, it was a wake-up call for an entire industry. If you enjoyed this breakdown and want more deep dives into your favorite K-pop or K-drama stars, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Thanks for watching.